Way. Alright. Gonna be doing our thing here. Doing the thing. More or less just trying to at least finish up this third case. That way we can get around to the final one. I don't recall how long the fourth one is. In fact, I honestly kind of forget, like, a lot of the... Oh, wait, no, I do kind of remember. Part of it's gonna have to do with Clavier again. Part of it. Since he's kinda always been in the background. Behind a lot of the little schemes and shit. Well, not Clavier. Christoph. Christoph, his brother. But I do remember that, like, Clavier will have a little bit to do with it, at least in terms of, like, the past. Not really much more than that, though. He'll be involved in terms of just, like, he's there. He happened to be there at the time. Hey, let's go. Trial day, baby. Trial day. Well, this is it. Today's the day it all goes down. Or was yesterday. This meeting is over. Sorry. Just give us 5 more minutes. We can call them back after that. Sorry. No go. Come on, piano boy. We're leaving. Aryan, wait! I never liked you. Either you. Huh? Probably because he's actually the killer. Probably. Darn it, we were so close. He was about to tell us. Hey, Apollo? Didn't want us to hear what Machi had to say. I think I know why. Trying to bring down a little justice. Ha 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 ha. My name's Justice. Ho ho ho. Apollo moment. What was that? He is heard but unseen. Who's that talking? Valiant Gramarye! I exclaimed. He walked in through the door normally. Wild. You aren't the witness today, are you, Uncle Valiant? A preposterous proposition. How could I stand upon the stand? Why, my secrets would be free for the plucking. I might even be able to sign autographs. Might even have to sign autographs. That is why I intend to remain hidden for the entire day. Oh, with vanishing magic? Indeed. I will jump upon an express train and express myself to the next town over. That is indeed disappearing. Before I go, a word of warning. Warning? What? A grand Gramarye glamour resides at the root of all that has happened. Do not forget this truth. Like, glamour? A spell, a sorcery, a great illusion. Miss Trucy, though it pains me to part so, I need to get in line for a ticket. Farewell! So long, farewell. There he goes. Sure seemed happy about the illusion thing. Oh, big illusions are the bread and butter of a magician. Can't pull off a show without one. The big illusion is always a spectacle to remember. Usually involves cutting up things like people or elephants or the Eiffel Tower, anything really. Cutting the Eiffel Tower. Wild. He's talking about what we saw at the concert. Or his disappearing act. Prosecutor Gavin's exploding guitar. I wonder what he meant by it being the root of all that had happened. Well, it's about time. Here we go. Ah, excuse me, sir. Yes? The scheduled starting time of the trial has been changed. The trial will not be commencing until 10:30 a.m. Sorry for the inconvenience. Huh? Something happened? This is a first. It was by the judge's request. Some urgent personal business. Great. I bet he stayed up too late last night watching courtroom dramas. Apparently he's visiting the hospital again. Hospital? I believe it was mentioned that the Chief Justice's son is unwell. Apparently his condition worsened considerably this morning. Chief Justice's son? Oh, that's right. Remember yesterday morning? The judge said he had to go visit him after the trial. There's an article about it in the newspaper. You care to read about it yourself. Ah, yes, incuratus. My favorite disease. Will you read that article for us, Apollo? Incuratus syndrome, first case in country. Disease strikes closer to home than ever before. Oh, incuratus. Oh, and the incurable. Just leave the TV guide page to me. Try not to lose the page of the funnies if you can. The funnies. The funny comic. My apologies for the delay. Court is now in session for the trial of... how did you say this name again? Pachitobe. Our suspect, Cordismo. Right. It's his trial in any case. Defense is prepared, Your Honor. Hey, Darth, how you doing? How's it going? I'm doing alright. Give or take, if a little groggy. But it's kind of how it goes when I'm freaking always going to bed late. Like, real late. Well, that's just how it be with me. Good, good. Glad to hear it. Gonna be doing what we can to finish up this third case today. I mean, we should be able to. It's literally just a trial. I don't think so. Not anything special. I never typically do anything special for New Year's. It's kind of just another year. Another year happens. That's really it. I just don't really make a big deal of it. Because frankly, I don't like looking at time and just being like, oh, I'm wasting everything. I don't do that. It's just not for me. I want to go with the flow. As much as I can, anyway. The prosecution is ready to rock. something wrong, Your Honor? Oh, well, yes. It's just I've been friends with the Chief Justice since we were students. It pains me to see him going through such a difficult time. Curatus, was it? Argo said there is no known cure. Fair Judge, let me say with all honesty I feel your pain. But now is not the time for tears. Now is the time for law. Indeed. We left off quite the juncture yesterday. Yes, it was Latouche's number. Latouche. And she remembered his voice, yes. Because who would have thunk the Shark Man would have been a murderer? Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Quite a sensational ending. Who would have thought Jarren would guest star in this season cliffhanger as a suspect? I asked the prosecution to look into this matter. Please tell the court your findings. Jarren Crist is a member of my band, the Gavineers. He is also a detective, making the current charges serious indeed. Yet after investigation, I have found no cause to alter our case, or file new charges. And your reason is? Weren't you aware, Hair Forehead? He has an impeccable alibi. An alibi? Let us review the facts again, shall we? The concert held on the night of the shooting was in 3 sets. The Gavineers ripped up the stage during the first set. For the second set, our guests took center stage. The only performers appearing were myself, Lamoire, and Machi, along with a drummer and a bassist for a total of 5. The shooting in the dressing room, however, took place during the third set. Lamoire and the defendant Machi Tobe had left the stage at that point, and the Gavineers were already rocking. This is where 2 shots rang out at the scene of the crime. Shots heard by the detective Emma Sky, mind you. And Apollo, you heard them too, right? Sure did. Furthermore, Lamoire herself witnessed the moment of the crime. Well, perhaps I should say she heard the moment of the crime. She claims to have heard Mr. Latouche and Detective Crist talking. That's impossible. Detective Crist was... Precisely. Detective Crist was on stage getting his groove on, no less. Voila! A perfect alibi. Vince have anything to add to this? Sure, when I heard those gunshots, he must have been on stage. Still, there's something here that doesn't quite add up. It appears the defense has no objections. I believe we can safely say that Jarren Crist's alibi has been acknowledged. Means that Lamoire was sadly mistaken. Her testimony cannot be true. Very well. Of course, if we disregard her testimony, then I see no evidence keeping us from declaring a verdict. If indeed there are no objections. Oh, Paulo, he declares the verdict now. But Prosecutor Gavin's case is airtight. Or might have been lying to protect Machi. Can I rely on her testimony? Wait, what about yesterday in the detention center? You gotta make him talk. Machi was trying to tell us something, I know it. The best thing to do is ask him under oath. Very well, the court finds the defendant, what was his name again? Objection! Your Honor. No, that wasn't it. It was something like Marquis, Mr. Justice? Your Honor, before you declare a verdict, I would like to call another witness. Exactly who else you need to hear from? A witness who until now has not been given a chance to speak in this court. Because he doesn't speak English. You don't mean... I do. Defense calls defendant Machi Tobe to the stand. What? He doesn't speak English. We'll use an interpreter. Interpreter? I'm afraid you'll have to look elsewhere. I only speak a few phrases such as, I love you, and where's the toilet? Defense would like to request Lamore as an interpreter. Lamore? There's a possibility she's protecting the defendant. But she'd be interpreting for the defendant. Why would she lie? This is most unusual. Bravo, Hair Forehead. Hair Judge. The prosecution agrees with the defense's request. If Lamore lies, I'll be able to tell. Even my limited knowledge of language should be enough for that. Well, if both prosecution and defense are for this, I see a little cause for refusal. Finally, some progress. Bailiff, please show the defendant Lamore to the witness stand. Yes. The double in the witness stand. Suppose it's the first time for everything. Shall we proceed? Your name to begin with, if you would, Lamore. Yes. He says Machi Tobe, the defendant. This is certainly a first for this courtroom. Not that we really needed an interpretation of that message in particular. So far, so good. Very well, Mr. Justice, if you would. Huh? If I would what, Your Honor? But what? You called the defendant to the stand, did you not? What do you have him testify about? I want him to testify about. I hadn't thought that far yet. Hollow! Aren't you gonna ask him what he was about to tell us yesterday? Can I if I don't know what he was saying? Excuse me a moment, if I might speak. Yes, Lamore? Just now, Machi said there is something about which he wishes to testify. He wants to testify about something? What could it be? What sort of testimony is he talking about? One moment, please. Suspense is killing me. What? What? Well, Lamore? According to Machi, he has proof of his innocence. What? This is a surprise. Yahoo! Victory, Apollo, we did it! Sounding too good to believe. I know what that usually means. Well, that's true then. This is vital testimony. Lamore, I mean Machi. Please testify to the court. Very well. Indeed. Indeed, Machi, indeed. He says that the word of Mr. Latouche's death came as a great shock. But if the killing truly followed the lyrics of my song, that is, he could not have done it. He says that because the lyrics are in English, he does not understand them. I see. He wouldn't have understood the English lyrics to the song. That would prevent him from following them so closely. I wondered what he meant by proof. Why, you would only have to ask Lamar to know the meaning of that song. Lamar? You ever explain the lyrics of that song to him? I did tell him generally what the song was about. Never in so much detail, and he never asked. Has my oft-repeated warning already fled that forehead? Lamar might be protecting the witness. Well, anyway, let us proceed with the cross-examination. Mr. Justice, if you would. Yes, Your Honor. Something's hidden in that testimony, I know it. Just have to press my bracelet to tell me where. Worked yesterday. It'll work today. Bracelet time again. Time to find or tell. You can actually I forgot that you can actually see his eyes in this mode.
Gotcha!
Machi. You can't fool my eyes. You glanced toward her the very moment Lamar said the word English. Why? And don't bother interpreting that. He understands me. Machi, tell the truth. You can understand English, can't you? What are you saying? Of course he can't. Must he continue the charade? Mr. Justice, Machi says this. I know the word English. Huh? Before coming to this country, he heard me speaking English. He learned the name for this language, that is all. What? Give me a break. That's such an unusual word to understand. Do you not know Espanol, for instance? Well, yeah, but... I'm sorry, but he truly does not understand your language. Well, then explain this. How does he know the crime followed the lyrics? He's always been such a suspicious-minded lad. It is simple, so explain it. So simple it hardly requires an explanation. He read about it in the newspaper. The newspaper? The Virginian Daily Bugle. You can buy it in this country these days, you know. They have already begun to report about this case in our homeland. That's right. What is wrong, Mr. Justice? Your eyes, they are quite fierce all of a sudden. Machi is lying. Maybe it's about time to show them proof that he's lying. Lies. Lies.
Take that!
I have here a Virginian newspaper. The Virginian Daily Bugle, as a matter of fact. Indeed, there's a feature article about the case. Could you read this for me, Machi? That's right. It doesn't mention the lyrics. What? What is this all about? I'm sorry, Machi. You couldn't have read about the lyrics in a Virginian newspaper. What does this mean? I don't see how it's possible. Ah, I know. You must have heard the lyrics while the police were doing their questioning, yes. Not possible. The subject of the lyrics was not brought up in police questioning. I read the full report myself. Lyrics weren't in the newspaper, and the police didn't mention them. The only place you could have heard them was in this courtroom. In English, no less. The witness will explain herself, himself. I mean, to be fair, Machi is quite feminine looking. Machi says, he says. Yes? It is true I read the newspaper. But this is not where I learned of the lyrics. I was mistaken. Now I remember. Remember? He says he heard of the lyrics from me. What? Is this true, Lamour? Yes, I'm afraid I had forgotten it myself. And it looks like Hairfoyad's been jumping to conclusions again. It seems so, yes. Oh no. It's onto something, I know it. I can't let this chance slip away. Time is an issue today, Mr. Justice. Are you finished with the cross-examination? What are you gonna do, Apollo? I'm gonna keep on cross-examining. I better have an angle of attack. Or else. Grace is still reacting. Indeed. Your Honor, please allow me to continue. If you must. Very well. Witness? I understand. Really? She's doing her swallowing again.
Gotcha!
Lamour, I'm currently cross-examining Machi. Why should you be uncertain? Me? Uncertain? Yes, you swallowed the very moment you told the court. It was I who explained. See, there's little point in trying to hide anything from you. Lamour, are you indeed protecting someone? It's not a question with a simple answer. To tell the truth, I did not believe it myself. Then allow me to answer for you. Lamour, you're protecting. Oh, I don't know, the 14-year-old boy.
Take that!
Lamour, you are protecting Machi. That's why you lied and told us that you had explained how the crime followed the song. I don't fault you for trying to help, but this is not the way. Machi, I believe you didn't do it. Really, I trust you. But you've lied to us twice. Now you have Lamour lying on your behalf. If this is going to work, you have to trust me too. Your two lies cover a simple truth. You understand English. You have to. There it is. Witness, is this true? Do you understand English? Yes, a little. Only. What? First you could see, and now we can talk. And you did not know about this, Lamore?
No, I did not. It is quite a surprise.
How many secrets is this witness hiding?
This is last.
Machi, could you tell us what really happened?
No shooting. I did no shooting.
So you weren't in the dressing room when I heard those two gunshots, correct? Apparently the answer to that question isn't simple either.
I was in dressing room, behind desk, manager he on floor.
Which would be after the shooting, right?
Then there's a voice.
Voice or voices? Was it you and Emma, Apollo? So when Machi went into the dressing room, Mr. Latouche had already been shot. Then we came to the door.
Panel high up. I take off. Run away. Runway.
So as you escaped through that air vent. As the prosecution has upheld all along, no less. The defendant has admitted to being at the scene. Might we take this as a confession?
Objection!
No, he's clearly denied that he did it.
I no shooting. Manager on floor, already on floor.
Objection!
The victim had already been shot, you say. I find that hard to believe. The defendant understood the song lyrics. He was at the scene of the crime. This can only mean one thing. He is the shooter. Does the defendant have anything to say to this?
He's clammed up, Apollo.
Then let's ask Mr. Justice. Do you require any further testimony from the witness? Is that it? Nothing else I can get him to testify about? Wait, no, of course there is. Yes, the cocoon. Cocoon has to have something to do with this. Machi, please tell us the truth for your own sake.
No more speak. Not to any of you.
So much for your precious trust, Hair Forehead. Hey, you were the one who didn't believe him. Regardless, this brings us to an impasse. Does not seem the defense and defendant are at odds. I doubt we are likely to learn anything more of value should this continue. I see no other course but to declare a 5-minute recess. The defense will work things out with the defendant so that we might proceed.
Apollo Eustace.
That likely means that, like, Borginian is, I'm pretty sure Borginian is a made-up country. Yeah. It's apparently in Northern Europe. But I'd probably say that likely means Virginia is likely a Germanic country. Because a lot of the, Germanic languages, specifically have the J part of certain words pronounced with a Y sound. Hence why Eustace instead of Justice. Which I think would make the most sense. justice. Better learn how to say it if you ever want to get some.
Believe I know shooting.
Well, she claims Mr. Latouche was already down on the ground when he entered the room.
Maybe it was a trap, and he walked right into it? Suddenly I hear revolver, close, very close. Then I hear voice.
You heard gunshots?
Yes, it's true, I hear revolver, but only sound.
But you're saying you went into the dressing room? And found Mr. Latouche already dead, and then you heard shots. That's true. That means that Latouche was shot beforehand, but someone played gunshots to make people come to the scene of the crime at a certain point. You escaped through the air vent.
I know. Huh? What do you know? I know if I opening vent, I can leave stage and backstage.
Vents went to both the stage and the backstage area? Is that what he means?
Hey, he's right. Look, Apollo.
Huh. Yeah. How did you know it was connected like that?
Wait, I bet his father was the architect that designed the hall or something. I hear this from Magician.
Magician?
Don't look at me.
From Volant.
At least we're clear on one thing. She didn't shoot Mr. Latouche.
Yeah, but what does that leave us with? We're supposed to say he went into the room to find the body and then he heard the shots? That one's not gonna go over well in court.
Apollo, you're his defense. You're supposed to believe whatever he says, even lies. That's what Daddy always told me.
I'll just pretend you misheard him. Every time. So what do we do?
You're sure you won't testify, Machi? No talking, no. Well, it's worth a shot.
The cocoon. Can't go home because told a secret. Of course he's scared. Guess we'll just have to try a different approach.
That's the spirit, Apollo. So what's your plan?
If Machi won't testify about it, we'll have to get someone else to testify.
Someone else?
I think we're out of time. Let's get back in there.
Right. Righto. Righto. Right.
Court is now back in session. Mr. Justice, have you sorted things out with the defendant? Yes, Your Honor. We had a good talk. Very well. So will he testify? Your Honor, defendant will not testify. What? Shame. And here I thought this was your big chance to turn this case around. Actually, it is. Defense would like to approach this case from a different angle, Your Honor. A different angle? Machi won't testify. And I know who will. I would like to cross-examine the witness in this case, Lamar. Lamar?
Objection!
What are you up to now? I thought we determined yesterday that Lamar's testimony was insubstantial. There's nothing you can...
Lamar was taken to the hospital yesterday with injuries.
What happened?
She was assaulted, Your Honor.
Assaulted?
Someone wanted Lamar dead. Thankfully, she was able to save herself.
What? I've heard no such report.
Prosecutor Gavin. Why would anyone be out to kill Lamar? Can you think of a reason? Well, think of how she is known in our country. A singer from overseas who doesn't speak English, yes? Yet someone tried to keep her mouth shut. Who could that have been?
You don't think...
I do. It was the same person who shot Mr. Latouche. The killer was afraid of her, afraid of what she might say. Vince believes that something was hidden in her testimony yesterday. Something that the killer doesn't want getting out.
So am I to understand that this is what you are saying? Namely that there is a nugget of truth in Lamar's testimony. A nugget we have yet to uncover?
Exactly.
Lamar was attacked. This has serious implications. Very well. There were some vague points in her testimony during yesterday's trial. Perhaps we did not inquire as deeply as we might have into some. The court will hear Lamar's testimony once more. Lamar, I must apologize. We must ask you to stand again and speak.
You need not apologize. I know that Machi is innocent, and I will do all that I can until the court realizes this.
Let's review your testimony from yesterday. You told us you heard 2 gunshots and the shooter's voice through the window, and that the voice belonged to Jarren Crist, yes?
That is correct.
At which point I proved she could not be correct. She couldn't have heard any of those things. The small window of the scene was closed. It was found to be quite soundproof. You have nothing to say to that, Mr. Justice?
I don't know exactly what yet, but I do know there's something there.
There is, it seems, much you do not know. And yet it is my duty to hear him out. Perhaps the witness would be so kind as to testify once more to the court.
Of course, Your Honor. I was on my way from the stage to the backstage exit. That's when I heard them, Mr. Latouche and the detective. I heard the faint sound of a gunshot and stopped. Then I heard another gunshot. There was the smell of gunpowder. I knew I must tell someone, but I was in a hurry, so I kept moving past the small window.
Pretty much the same as yesterday's testimony.
I'm sorry. I'm not used to speaking much in this language. Perhaps my descriptions are lacking in some way. Yet everything I have said here is the truth.
Then is it my distinct displeasure to say this? What you have said to have happened is impossible.
Do I have to repeat myself?
Lamar was attacked because of this testimony.
What, Trucy? Apollo, you know, for a moment there, you were pretty cool.
Maybe I do better when I don't try to think ahead. Yeah, you act like a phoenix. Very well, Mr. Justice. Perhaps you can coolly cross-examine the witness. Indeed.
Hold it!
Jarren Crescent?
I did not know his name at the time. But yes, it was him. The one who took the stand yesterday.
How many times do I need to remind you that's impossible? There's no way you could have heard him.
Because the window at the scene was closed?
Is that why?
Of course. Oh, if we keep asking the same questions as yesterday, we won't get anywhere.
Right, maybe there's a different angle I can try. Lamar, do you by any chance remember what they were saying to each other? If so, please tell us.
I have given it much reflection, but
I was afraid of this, she doesn't remember.
only heard one phrase clearly.
Whole phrase? Remember something that was said? Why didn't you say anything yesterday?
When my memory's clear, I was afraid to speak. You see, I do not understand what was said.
This could be it, the clue I've been waiting for. Well, what did he say?
It was the other man speaking, not Monsieur Latouche.
The shooter, then. Jarren Crescent. But what did he say?
It's over. Press the switch. Now.
Switch? And the shooter said this to the victim, Monsieur Latouche?
I thought it quite strange myself afterward.
It is a mystery. What could it possibly mean? Mr. Justice, care to shed some light on this? Sure. I mean, very well vital. Maybe we could add to the testimony.
Maybe, Apollo.
Indeed, Apollo, indeed. Anyway, press the switch now. I wonder.
Objection!
Press the switch. There's only one key that can unlock the mystery of those words. Oh? Yet there is nothing in the scene that could be called a switch, save the lights. True, there wasn't a switch at the scene. But it just so happens I have a switch right here. That certainly does look like a switch, doesn't it? The problem is, this was found not at the scene of the crime, but on the stage. The stage? Where the concert was held, yes. This was found hidden there. On the stage. Are you claiming that the voice Lamar heard was of someone commanding another to press this switch? It's a possibility.
Objection!
Oh, Hair Forehead, I call that an impossibility. Why? It's hardly necessary for me to remind the court of the layout of the concert forum. The stage is quite far from Lamar's dressing room. Not to mention the Cavaliers were in the middle of a concert on said stage. We aren't known for being a quiet band. You could shout all you wanted and not be heard.
His voice was loud, but certainly not a shout.
So too have Hair Forehead's cries of possibility fallen far short of being heard. Sorry, but he wouldn't have needed the shout. Excuse me? You heard what I said, or do you need me to shout it out for you? It would have been quite simple to be heard on the stage from that dressing room. Oh wait, you like evidence, don't you? How about this? Using this, it would be easy to get a message of someone on the stage from the dressing room. Oh, I don't know. The fricking headset.
Take that!
Prosecutor Gavin, perhaps you're familiar with this.
Why, that's... What is it? That's some kind of newfangled phone they invented while I wasn't looking?
This is a type of transmitter, a communications device.
Communications device?
From what I've heard that, everyone on stage is wearing one of these.
Yes, actually, they're for talking between band members. You all had one on.
So you admit that if you were wearing one of these, talking from the backstage to the stage would be simple.
Objection!
True, but wait. Those send out an electronic signal. To avoid interference with the audio systems, their range is quite limited. Mars said it was about 30 feet, right? Look at this cross-section diagram of the concert forum. Ah. Exactly. The walk from the stage to the backstage seems far. But the direct distance is less than 30 feet.
It can't be! So when Lamar heard the shooter's voice, he could have been talking to someone on stage.
Objection!
You're claiming this is the switching question? Why did it have to be on the stage at the time?
It could have been placed in a pocket and carried anywhere. Someone could have hid it on the stage after the fact.
Hey, he's got a point. How do we know where it was when she heard the voice? The shooter said press the switch. I guess we don't.
An unfortunate situation. Afraid that until we know where that switch is, there's little point in debating it.
Sure this was the way to go with this.
What is this switch anyway?
You don't even know that basic fact.
Wait a second. I do know what this switch is. It's the switch for the igniter, yes.
If you follow that train of logic to its incredible conclusion, it ends up in proof that completely changes his case. What's up, Apollo? Apollo?
We know about the switch, right? We know what it is.
Yeah?
Well, think of when it was used that day. Think of what happened. Well, Mr. Justice, you have no further information to share concerning the switch.
Your Honor.
Yes, Mr. Justice?
I've been remiss in not telling the court this before. I know what this switch is.
Well, it seems the defense is set upon linking the switch to the case. Let's see your evidence of the link. What evidence do you have to explain what the switch is?
Take that!
This one.
Prosecutor Gavin, you remember this? Ah! That what? Is it another one of those newfangled phones?
This is an igniter. What phone looks like this?
Igniter? You mean it's like a lighter?
Yes, actually.
You aren't saying this switch is a remote.
I am. This is a remote trigger for an igniter.
What?
Look, I'll show you.
Yo! Mr. Justice, you won't cease and desist from burning down this courtroom.
Sorry, that was a bit more fire than I expected.
If my whiskers had caught on fire.
Prosecutor Gavin, let me repeat myself. This switch is a remote igniter trigger. Doesn't that suggest something to you?
You're talking about what happened to me, aren't you?
Ah, exactly. That night at the concert, there was one unusual burst of flame. When your guitar caught fire in the middle of your performance. Wasn't that part of the stage show, though? Prosecutor Gavin was entirely unaware such a thing had been planned. The guitar that burned was a valuable keepsake. That's right, he got it from Virginia from Lamar. He said the sound was amazing before it burned, of course. Now it just kind of smokes. The better guitar, the brighter it burns. Air forehead. Yes? Don't tell me you're trying to tie these two things together. Those being the shooter's voice heard by Lamar. And the guitar suddenly catching on fire? I am. It's really simple when you think about it. Mr. Latouche and the shooter were at the crime scene. The shooter was wearing a headset. He ordered someone on stage to press a switch. The switch was pressed, and the guitar caught fire. That does seem to make sense. There's something about it is bugging me. Can't quite put my finger on it. Really? It seems pretty simple to me.
Objection!
Here, forehead, don't destroy what little respect I have for you. Expect you a little more sensible. I guess I was wrong. What's this all about, Prosecutor Gavin? His simple story simply makes no sense. Think. That night my guitar caught fire, yes. The cause may have been this indeed. However, the guitar caught fire during the second set. That's right, of course. Guitar got fire during Lamar's song. Indeed, yet the shooting happened during the third set. The two are utterly unrelated. Oh, yes, that must have been what was bugging me. The whole premise for this is faulty. See, his story makes no sense.
Objection!
Are you sure about that? What exactly do you mean, Mr. Justice? Maybe it's not the premise for my explanation of the switch that's at fault. Maybe it's our premise for the entire case so far. What premise is this, specifically? Glad you asked. I'm saying that maybe the killing didn't take place in the third act. Indeed.
Objection!
What's this? Checking around the sky, heard shots and found the body. All this happened in the third act.
Objection!
Gunshots rang out. And according to his testimony, Machi was in that dressing room at the time. Where are you going with this, Mr. Justice? Stay with me, Your Honor. He also told us this in his testimony. Namely, that the victim had already been shot. We all heard gunshots, but no one saw the shooting. This is insane! Just before the shooting took place, the shooter was heard on his headset, telling someone to press the switch. The next moment, Prosecutor Gavin's guitar burst into flame. We know that a remote-triggered igniter was inside the guitar. From all these facts, we can draw only one conclusion. The crime did not take place during the third act, but during the ballad performance, the second act. What? But that goes against the evidence. What does, Your Honor? This crime was carried out according to the lyrics of the song, yes? Hey, he's right, look! The bullet is supposed to come after the fire. You're thinking about it the wrong way. Huh? Look. Why would the shooter craft the events of the day to follow the lyrics anyway? It's an awful lot of trouble to go through. With little merit for the person doing it. I'm sure whoever it was had some reason. Yes, they did. A reason that made it advantageous to follow the lyrics. You're saying the order was reversed on purpose. Reverse, Prosecutor Gavin? We'll follow the lyrics strictly, then yes. The shooting would have had to come after the guitar burst into flame. It therefore has raised another possibility. He's claiming that the bullet came not after, but just before the fire. Couldn't have put it better myself. We were only meant to think that the shooting came from the guitar burst into flame. That was the criminal's objective. The crime followed the lyrics to a point, but that was the ruse. Why else would the killer risk discovery by moving the body? That was the final touch to make us think he'd followed the lyrics the whole way. That would explain this most unusual situation. It does. The killer changed the order of events to create himself an alibi. In other words, the killer was someone who had an alibi for the third set, but not the second.
Objection!
I was hoping it wouldn't come to this, but sadly it has. Let me tell you why your little fairy tale makes no sense at all. Oh, it sounds good, I'll give you that. You've given us a reason why the killer bothered following the lyrics of my song. But I question your logic. For it's flawed from the very beginning. Flawed? Yes, a contradiction there, Forehead. One that I pointed out several times, no less. At the time of the crime, the small window of the scene was closed. How could Lamore have heard the voice through it? Oh. I know you would like to divert our attention from this critical fact. But you're basing your entire line of reasoning on a false premise. Right. Horse testimony is my entire case. That voice she heard, the shooter's voice. What if she couldn't hear it, Apollo? Look, what do we have? A man saying press a switch. And near the crime scene we have a switch. Jax is a remote trigger for an igniter. And last but not least, Prosecutor Gavin's flaming guitar. It can't all be a coincidence. How do I make it work? I see a more direct line of questioning is required. When the crime scene was investigated immediately after the crime, that window was closed. Care to tell us how Lamore heard the voice? A key point to be sure. Mr. Justice, can you explain this to the court? Okay, Justice, you got one thing to prove. One thing only. Lamore heard a voice. And she heard it during the second set. Think. How was Lamore able to hear the voice? She was somewhere else. When we investigated the scene, the window was closed. The shooter had no reason to close it, had it been open either. Meaning, it was impossible to hear the voice through that window. Ah, it's good to hear you making sense again. For a moment, I was afraid you might be a Borginian, too. As I was saying, Lamore could not hear the voice through the window. So there can only be one explanation. She heard the voice from no other location entirely.
What's this?
You do amuse me so.
And here I thought you and Good Sense were back on speaking terms. Now I'm afraid you and Good Sense speak two entirely different languages. Shall I interpret for you, Hair Forehead? Lamar clearly states she heard the voice through that small window.
That's the thing, though. We've established that she's blind. How could she have known it was that small window and not another window? Another kind of window, perhaps.
There's only one small window at the scene.
Are you sure? Think about it.
Isn't there another small window at the scene?
There is.
Oh, I know that look. He wants us to ask him. Very well, you claim Lamar heard the voice from another location. Mr. Justice, show us where this location was.
Lamar heard the voice from here.
Oh, I don't know. This!
Take that!
This is where Lamar heard the voice from.
The average!
What did she tell us? She said that she's a Borginian, unfamiliar with our language. It's not a stretch to imagine she called this air vent a small window.
Objection!
Now you've done it. You've gone beyond ridiculous and into ludicrous. So Lamar was up in the ventilation system listening to this man's voice. That's the only logical explanation, yes.
Logical? I do not think this word means what you think it means, Hair Forehead.
Okay, but what about it isn't logical?
Huh. It hardly merits anything. Why would Lamar be in the ventilation system? Hiding like a rat, no offense intended to her, of course.
The explanation for that is simple, Prosecutor Gavin. Isn't it, Lamar? You have to have been listening to our discussion here, yes? Yes. I admit it had me quite confused since yesterday. Yes, the small window was closed. Why would that mean I could not hear through it? I feared our prosecutor might himself need an interpreter.
Ugh.
The problem here is words. Lamar, this small window through which you heard the voice. Was it up high on the ceiling of the room, not low on a wall? Yes, it was up on the ceiling.
What?
Dun-dun.
Witness, you will clarify this statement to the court. Are you in fact saying that you were up above the ceiling of the room? That's where you heard the moment of the crime?
Yes, in fact I was. I am sorry, I never imagined it would become such an important point.
Yes, well, why the heck were you up there? Oh, I don't know. Probably because it was the transition phase for getting her over to the other freaking tower. You know? During the performance. I believe it's time for another testimony.
I'm not sure I can't.
May I remind you that this is a murder trial?
we will hear your testimony. Tell us why you witnessed the crime from above the ceiling of that room. Please. Looks like I'm on the right track. Yes, I was above the ceiling when I heard the voice. I had heard there was a small window there before. I was in the middle of my performance. I had no time to report what I had heard. As to why I was there, I cannot say. I am bound to secrecy on this matter. Bound to secrecy? In my line of work, one has many obligations to uphold. You say you were in the middle of your performance. This did happen in the second set. I did not witness the crime, you must understand. I only know what I heard. Yes, well, you must tell us what you were doing in detail. That's what the cross-examination is for, ya hair forehead. Our mission in this court is to discern the truth. No obligation, no binding pact may hinder that mission. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. What are you gonna do, Apollo? I'm gonna find out the truth. He was up above that ceiling for a reason. I just have to get it out of her. I mean, it's pretty obvious. She was down there after she disappeared from in the performance.
Objection!
Boom. Lamar, truth be told, the reason for your presence above that ceiling is quite clear. Especially when you consider what happened during your performance. What happened? Yes, it's all right here on this video. Help him. As we can see, Lamar was clearly not on stage for her entire performance. Ah! Though it saddens me to be so realistic. Lamar is incapable of actually vanishing, let alone teleportation. So the only explanation is that she was hidden from view. And during that time, she moved to the back of the forum. Hello! What, Trucy? It's not nice to reveal a magician's secrets, and it's against the rules. But I'm a lawyer. I'm not supposed to be nice. I'm not supposed to be nice. This is all very fascinating. How is it possible? There is only 20 seconds between when she disappears and reappears. She couldn't have moved that fast. Is something wrong, Pussy Gavin? This was his concert, his show. He knows how the illusion was performed. Aha! He's just realizing his own oversight. Let's look at the cross-section diagram again. Here we can trace a route through the ceiling. It goes from the stage, through the backstage, to the rear of the forum. Ah! Recall Lamore's testimony from yesterday. She went from the stage to the backstage exit. A perfect description of this route above the ceiling. Moore knew of this because of her part in the illusion. But she wasn't the only one who knew. What? Just now in the lobby, Machi told me something. I know. If I opening vent, I can leave the stage and backstage. You said that. Oh, were you not informed, Ross Eater Gavin? I knew about the vanishing act, of course. I had no idea of the route that would be used. Why didn't that magician tell me? A magician never reveals their secrets. Magicians only reveal details of their acts on a need-to-know basis. They're the bread and butter of magician's life, you know. Which is why he's bound Lamore to secrecy. Well, Lamore, I am impressed, Mr. Attorney. Machi was right about you.
So what does this mean? Are you saying you used this route above the ceiling?
I did.
That's that, but I'm still a little confused. Why's that, Your Honor? I said before. There was very little time between when she disappeared and when she reappeared. 20 seconds tops. How could she do it so fast? Especially if she stopped to hear the shooter's voice. That's a good question. And the way to explain this to the court.
I cannot.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Yes? It's all up to you. Do your thing. What thing, Your Honor? You need to explain how Lamar was able to teleport like she did. Or I'm throwing your case out with the backwater.
Why do I get picked on? So Mario isn't going along with the program here. As I have stated before, I am not at liberty to speak of the illusion that night in detail.
Then you'll just have to tell us what you can. We'll hear your testimony on this. Mr. Justice, it will be your job to wring the truth out of her.
Yes, if you would, please.
Right. I feel like a student before the finals.
Good luck, Apollo.
Good luck, boyo. Good luck.
I followed the route exactly as I was instructed. There's an emergency exit in the backstage where a stagehand waited. From there, one can enter the forum on the opposite side from the stage. Plan was for me to move there in 2 minutes. I was on my way when I heard the voice.
2 minutes, you say? The mystery deepens.
It was too much to hope that the judge would come up with something.
As does my curiosity. Take it away, Mr. Justice.
Right, Your Honor.
All I have to do is find the contradiction between what Lamar is saying.
and what we can see plainly in the video. I figured it out already. I mean, I am a magician after all. Well, tell me. Not a chance. I can't reveal another magician's secrets. Come on. Hey, you're supposed to be on my side here. Okay, but she's not gonna do that because she's a magician. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Hold it!
2 minutes? Yes, it can be done in 1 minute if you're running. Running? In that cramped dark tunnel above the ceiling? Haha, Mr. Attorney. Have you forgotten? Dark or lit, it makes no difference to me. Ah, that's true, but... You're saying that on the night of the concert you made the trip in 2 minutes. Yes, though I nearly didn't make it in time. You see, I stopped halfway. Or disappears on the video for 20 seconds. It says she made the trip in 2 minutes. How? If you want my professional opinion, I'll bet the answer is right there in that video. Well, Mr. Justice, perhaps you have some evidence for this, for us. Something that explains the discrepancy between the video and our testimony. Ah! Have explained the discrepancy. Yes. One piece of evidence that explains the discrepancy between video and testimony. It's her brooch.
Take that!
More, do you happen to remember this brooch? Aha, the brooch! We saw that yesterday, did we not? It was found at the scene, Your Honor. You're bringing this up now. Why? I thought we had already determined when that was dropped. So did I, but we hadn't. Take another look at the video. Yeah, her brooch is there, specifically. She dropped it while she was moving. Here you can see she's wearing the brooch. So she is. Let's look a bit later. It's gone. What? The brooch is gone! What? Yes, the brooch disappeared in the short space of 20 seconds. And it takes a full minute to run from the stage to the backstage. Which means there can only be one explanation. The more we see before the vanishing act and the more we see after are two different people. What? Brooch was found on the floor at this crime scene. And not just on the floor, but on the floor directly beneath the air vent. Lamore, tell me, did you drop the brooch on your way from the stage to the backstage? The very moment you witnessed the crime. Yes, I think I did. Order! Prosecutor Gavin! From your expression, I gather you had no idea this was the case there, Judge. I, of course, knew about it. What? Don't get me wrong, I wasn't hiding it. It just never occurred to me. That the switch and the shooting took place at the same time. So it was right? Was the switch? There was a switch? There was. Just before the stage's power rose, Lamore was replaced. While we're on the subject, just who was this replacement Lamore? Why, the man behind the illusion, Valent Gramarye.
I forgot about that detail. I forgot about that detail. Jeez. Valiant out here frickin' getting dolled up to be Lamar. Wow. Wow. Is Grammary? That's quite the illusion, but I still don't get one thing. Yes? Switch happened before the tower rose, correct? We're on the stage, that's right. But this fake Lamar is still singing. She's pretty good. Apollo? Apollo? I think you forgot one thing. There can be pre-recordings in concerts. That's true. Come on, Apollo, that's an easy one. They were just playing a recording. Like Gavin was on some kind of air guitar band, Fraulein. Oh, you mean I'm wrong? When we play a show live, we play live, no recordings. Perhaps you can explain, Lamar. Very well. Yes, do tell. And add it to your testimony.
Hold it!
We're singing? Yes. Mr. Gavin expressed a dislike for recordings. So I used this. Wait, so you were singing the whole time? Even when you were crawling above the ceiling toward the backstage? Why should it matter where I sing? Whenever anywhere I go is the same darkness. But if you were singing while you were walking... That's right, wouldn't the shooter and victim have heard? Just singing right over their heads after all. That is right. Are you sure? You'd have to be pretty hard of hearing to miss someone singing in the ceiling. Once again, we come back to the state of the scene of the crime. What state? I know what he means. That old speaker, Apollo. The speaker. That speaker was blaring at the time of the murder. Yes, yes. Satisfied. That dressing room was fitted with a large speaker playing a irate feed from the stage. And my request, actually. Lamar was singing in the ceiling? Sounded just like Lamar singing over the speaker. Ingenious, her voice was hidden by her voice. Ah. Lamar? I have just remembered something. Do tell. When I heard the noise, the gunshots, yes? It startled me, so I stopped singing. What? I forgot the words I was supposed to sing. The song stopped? Thankfully, it was the very beginning of the second verse. But not many would notice. Forehead, that mixing board I lent you, where is it? The mixing, huh? That machine, Apollo, the one that breaks music into tracks. Oh, this, I completely forgotten about it. Let's take a listen. song does stop there. It does? I must have missed it. Look at the lyric sheet at the top of the second verse. See where it says pleasure, pleasure? Now listen again. Yeah, she was supposed to say pleasure, pleasure. This is evidence indeed. I believe we are guilty of making a terrible mistake. The crime didn't happen during this third set. It happened during the second, during Lamore's ballad. That is true. No one on stage during the second set could have been the shooter. Which means that Jarren Crescent could have done it. He wasn't on stage for the second set. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, fascinating. I don't believe I've ever seen a trial turn around quite so thoroughly. Yet one problem remains. What's that, Prosecutor Gavin? Yeah, Forehead Theory does have a certain kind of logic to it. Yet it is entirely based upon Lamore's testimony. Yes, is there a problem with this? Well, it is quite simple, though it pains me to say it. What if she is lying to protect the defendant?
Objection!
But you have no proof. All I'm saying is that the truth is as yet unclear. Until we hear directly from the man himself. The man? You don't mean... Yes. Though he is a friend and a band member, Jarren Crescent must take the stand. I see no other way. As someone with a new perspective on the case? As a suspect, to be frank. Finally, the rat's coming out of his hole. And I'm ready to catch him. Jarren Crescent, get ready for justice. This is a good time as any for pause for a brief recess. The prosecution will summon the witness. Have him here and ready by the time we begin. I'm the last man who needs to be reminded of what his duties are. Very well, court is adjourned for a 15-minute recess. And now, the final part of Case 3. Oh, I can't believe it! It really happened during the second act? Right in the middle of Lamore's performance? Reason why she was in that air vent. And that switch and the flaming guitar. When you link it all together, that's what you end up with. I knew you had what it took. Ah, Daddy! It's right. You believed in me? Not really. Huh? I just thought that'd make a cooler entrance than say, hiya. Why do I even bother hoping? Where have you been lately, Daddy? You haven't been coming to the office at all. Ah, sorry about that, Trucy. I'm on a secret mission. Secret? You mean like you're undercover? Like Mr. Latouche, only shorter and not as well dressed. Oh no, what if you're shot too, Daddy?
Would I do a thing like that to you? Anyway, I'm off for a while again. Huh? You're leaving? Oh, one thing before I go. What? Good luck. Right. Is that all you came to say? I think you have things pretty much under control. You'll get Machitobe off the hook, no doubt. Yeah, but you're after that detective, aren't you? Jarren Crescent. It won't be easy proving you did it. Especially not under the current court system. Current court system? What did Prosecutor Gavin say during the trial? Your case is based on one fragile assumption. Namely that our Diva Divine is telling the truth.
What about all the proof? The brooch and the switch.
A piece of jewelry and a lyrical blunder. There are plenty of other ways to explain these things. The flaming guitar, too. All because you lack definitive proof of their connection to the case.
But
if the sultry Sauntress is lying, your case melts like butter in a frying pan, leaving behind the faintly singed scent of failure. So what do I do? Like I said, good luck. And be aware that it will be impossible to prove his guilt by conventional methods. Ugh. Oh, that reminds me. I have something to give you from our detective friend. Detective Sky. Emma? Let's see. This bag of snacks here was meant for me. Ah, here it is.
what are those, Daddy? They don't look like very good snacking material.
Never found at the scene. And also the fragments revealed traces of gunpowder.
Gunpowder?
Probably a firecracker or something similar like the ones kids are into these days.
I mean, yeah, it would make sense. A firecracker to use as a makeshift gunshot.
These fragments were found under the sofa at the scene of the crime, actually. Under the sofa?
Hey, Apollo! That's where we found that little device thingy.
Right, this. Finally, some evidence that makes sense.
It also means that you could use the frickin' switch to make the igniter go off, and then, therefore, get the firecrackers to go off. So, done deal. You have now made a fake crime scene.
That's all for me, I suppose. See you after the verdict. Maybe. Right. Every man has a igniter inside of him. Excuse me? Find Jarren Crescent's igniter and set it off. And he walked out the door just like a magician. Normally.
What does he want us to do? No conventional methods? What does that mean?
So he just has to take his advice. Hope it makes sense when the time comes.
I guess.
Almost at the finish line. Hang in there, Trucy.
Hang in there. Hang in there.
Court is now back in session. Prosecutor Gavin, where is Detective Crescent? In the witness lounge, ready to be called at any time. Very well. Might I add, I don't believe any of this. Jarren was the first detective I ever worked with.
We stopped working together when he moved to Criminal Affairs Division 3. But his guitar playing, it fires my imagination. That's nice, but it has nothing to do with the matter at hand. Look, Apollo, I get it, but like, give Clavier a moment to like possibly mourn the loss of a friend that ended up killing someone. Correct? Oh, I know, Air for him. Very well, call the final witness of the stand. Detective Jarren Crescent. Name and occupation, please. Jarren Crescent, Detective Criminal Affairs, Division 3. That's the International Affairs Division, for those of you who didn't know. And I'm a guitarist for the Gavaneers. Maybe you heard of us? Do you fully understand the circumstances under which you stand before us today? Yeah, I understand, Your Honor. What I don't understand is how you let this happen, partner. You gave me your word I wouldn't be standing here. The situation's changed, Jarren, and don't call me partner. So much for old friends. See what you're doing, Jarren. You're pressing the prosecution. Your Honor, if we could begin the trial. Yes, it's high time we did. Let's hear your testimony. You may begin with your response to Lamore's testimony. If, in fact, you have anything to say about it. Oh, I got plenty to say. Mine must be a national pastime of Virginia. And whether you're from Mr. Justice, ha! Conventional methods are out the window, huh? Here goes nothing. The diva's lying, plain simple. She's got nothing to back up her story. In the first place, she never heard my voice. She forgot the words because she heard gunshots? As if. Didn't Detective Emma Sky hear those gunshots during the third set anyway? Shooting took place when I was on stage, man. So you claim Lamore's testimony was a lie? Hey, don't get me wrong, I dig what she's doing, trying to protect that kid. She got the court-eaten vague statements out of her hand just 'cause she's blind. You go too far, Jarren. Look, all I'm saying is, you got a reliable witness. Why not listen to the detective? Detective Sky. I see. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. You didn't waste any time finding your weak spot. Can't do this with Lamore's testimony alone. I'll have to find some other way to prove when the shooting took place. Oh, we will. We will. About that. About that.
Objection!
Some things were found at the crime scene after yesterday's trial. What things? The first was this small device. That's the remote-triggered igniter. Correct. And one more thing. What are those? The remains of something burnt? Another guitar, I hope. Traces of gunpowder were found on these fragments. We have a report that it was something like a firecracker. How did Gavin know about this?
What, you think Detective Sky works for you? I received the report this morning before coming here. That's when I made my decision, actually. What decision is this, Prosecutor Gavin? I registered Darren as a witness in today's trial. Just in case. This raises another possibility. Those gunshot-like sounds during the third set could have been 2 firecrackers rigged to go off in remote control. You got an active imagination, don't you? But you shouldn't say every little thing you think. Your explanation there seems a bit too convenient to me. How so? So you're saying these firecrackers just happened to go off right when 2 witnesses came walking by?
That's right. Jarren was out on stage when it happened, Apollo. How would he know someone was backstage right then?
The firecracker goes off in the forest and there's no one there to hear. You get my drift? Why go through the trouble, man?
Explain this.
You may not look it, but Darren is a gifted detective. Show any weakness, and he's sure to find it. He may not look it, partner. Gee, thanks, man. That reminds me. It happened to pass through that very hallway several times that day myself. And I saw something odd there just before the third set. Something odd? A headset. The kind of all the band and staff members were wearing. Yeah, that was on the floor. The whole time. Which means he had that headset there in order to have a way to cue when to set off the signal. That's right. Pick this up in front of the door to that dressing room. What if that headset wasn't dropped but placed? And what if it was turned on? You could hear what was going on in that hallway. If you were out on stage. Heh. Whose side are you on, Gavin? Listen to me, Darren. There are no sides in a court of law. Which is why I now turn to you, Hair Forehead. I have a question for you. Huh? For me? The igniter and the burnt fragments that were found at the scene of the crime. It's certainly a possibility that they were part of a ruse to fake the sound of gunshots. Throw the head from the hallway into the mix and you could fabricate an alibi. But we're still no closer to proving anything. Those gunshots might have been real or fake, we can't say. Ugh. You've raised the possibility that the shots heard during the third set were faked. Now you need to prove the other half of the case. The other half? Look, I'll just tell him. He wants you to prove the thing went down in the second act, while our little piano player was on stage. That right, Gavin? Indeed. If you can't prove that, then continue this cross-examination would be pointless. Well, Mr. Justice, can you prove the crime took place during the second set? Yeah, I think.
You better know, Apollo, otherwise we're through.
It can be proven. You make it sound like someone else is gonna come along and do it for you. Let's continue with the cross-examination then, shall we? Witness your testimony, if you would. This isn't gonna be easy.
Road rage.
Oh. Hello. Hello. Riku, how you doing? Thank you for the raid. How you doing? Thank you, thank you. Hello, hello. Hope you're doing all right. I appreciate it. I'm doing all right, give or take. Doing a little bit better because I was feeling a little bit groggy earlier, but pretty all right, all things considered. I appreciate it, nonetheless. And I'm glad you're doing well. It's nice to hear. Need some decisive proof and fast. Heh. You ready, kid? 'Cause I am. My guy. My guy. Merry belated Christmas and soon to be New Year's. Indeed, happy holidays. All of the happy holidays.
Objection!
It seems there is clear proof left behind. Right here in Lamar's song. Her song? What exactly is this device thingy? New variety of gramophone, perhaps? Come on, we just use this and don't get me started on gramophone. This device is used to record the performance part by part. Part? You move the sliders to adjust the volume. Each instrument is adjustable separately. Lamar's voice included. Oh, what does this prove? According to Lamar's testimony, the moment of the shooting, she forgot the words of the song. Ah, you intend to examine the recording at that moment, yeah? We might even hear those gunshots. I didn't know that. I didn't know it expired. Let me check that real quick, actually. Huh, strange. I'm pretty sure I remember updating that. No, I'm pretty sure that I did make a... I'm pretty sure that I did make a permanent one for that one. Guess I'll have to make another. Let me see here. Just so I can get this done out of the way quickly. Okay, there we go. Let's see here. Settings. It's been a little while since I've freaking done this. In a little bit. trying to remember, how do I freaking... Sorry, I was in there. No. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell it was. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. There it is. Okay. I have updated that link. Should be up to date now. I swear I put the permanent one there at one point, but I don't know. Must have randomly just shut down or something. I don't know. I can't be certain about that at all. You might even hear those gunshots. Exactly. Huh, ridiculous. How are you supposed to hear gunshots back in that dressing room out on stage? Have you forgotten, Jarren? We were all wearing these headsets. Oh. We were all deeply involved in our performance. Lamore's headset would have picked up what he heard all the same. And let's get to analyzing that recording. Right now. Lamore stopped singing when she heard the shots fired. Find that spot, and I'll find the gunshots. Let's see. Aha! You gunshot right there. Right at the start. Yeah, you can't really hear it with everything else. Yeah.
Take that!
Get one. Your Honor, listen closely to this part. This is the track with Lamore's vocals. Why, it sounded like a gunshot. What? This has to be some kind of mistake. I believe a case has been made. Gunshots were heard during the second set. Which means Lamore's testimony was true. Ah! Order! So she was telling the truth about what she heard. It was the other man speaking, not Michel Latouche. What did he say? It's over. Press the switch. Now. Just after that, there was a gunshot, and then the guitar caught on fire.
You likely, if I recall, you likely followed me when, it was likely Paradise, more than likely. It was, like, around that time when, like, when I was a bit more involved in the community over there. Specifically, if I recall. It was something like that. Just after that, there was a gunshot and then the guitar caught on fire. Yeah. Detective Crescent, you weren't on stage in the second sit. I mean, I still like Paradise and whatnot. I'm just not really that involved over there anymore. It's mostly just because, like, I don't interact too much in, too many servers. I try to, like... I kind of try to keep a little bit of a down low these days. Not even really a down low, it's just kind of like... I don't really interact in many servers. Because at a certain point, like... It's a little hard to keep track of everything. Right. Like, it's not for any, like, real, it's not because I hate people in these servers or anything, it's just because, like, I just don't really interact. Yeah, it's a lot. Generally. My server, though, is... Realistically, it's just a chill place to hang out. We sometimes do, like, little watch parties of movies and whatnot, but... It's really just, like, a small, chill little thing. It's not really much else. It's allowed to just be a place to hang out in, really. Because once you get into, like, a server that is, like, very popular, it's kind of hard to interact with people because, like, so many conversations can be happening at once, so it's nice to at least be in something small. That way you can kind of just have, like, little conversations with people without feeling like you're gonna be interrupted. But, yeah. Granted, I did have this server way before, I did streaming. It was like mostly a server that used to be mostly for friends. I mean, it still kind of honestly is, but... I honestly don't mind if people want to, like, join it or whatever. It's... We're just a small group of people. I mean, I do. I got a small group of friends, that's really it. Wild. Yeah, I am not in that many servers. Like, I'm at most, like, in maybe, like, 10. If anything. 10 to 15, maybe. But I can't, like, join more than that because I would, like... go freaking insane if I had to, like, follow that many servers and what they're doing. I think my mind would explode. That'd be way too much of a hassle. There ain't no way I'm getting towards that cap. No way. Detective Crescent, you weren't on stage during the second set. You could have done it. We need to just make an account per 100 servers. You may as well, at a certain point, you may as well. Assuming you go that far, but, you know. What if we only have one gunshot on the recording? 1 or 2 bullets fired from this weapon. More was moving through the air vent, Your Honor. Ah, I see. Not many more. Not many more. She must not have been close enough to her mic to catch the first shot. Then again, as she passed over the dressing room, the gun fired again and Mr. Latouche's life was taken. Well, Detective Crescent? Ah, once again I am reminded of something. Our performance that day. Her performance. Seeing the mixed board jogged my memory. You were there too, Hair Forehead. Yeah, the part that we found was off. Mr. Darien. I thought it strange at the time. How could you miss such a simple cue? I know you. I know how you play. You're better than that. Yeah, well, You what? And Prosecutor Gavin, what are you getting at? I'm talking about the murder weapon, Mr. Latouche's .45 caliber hand cannon. As we have learned, even the shooter doesn't go unscarred with a revolver that size. The kickback is enough to dislocate your shoulder if you're an amateur. Wait. You mean his plane was effective because he hurt himself shooting that revolver? Ah, you're forgetting something. Yes, Detective Crescent? I am a trained police officer, you know. I've had firearms training, plenty of it. I'm no amateur. The standard sidearm issued to police officers is a .38 caliber weapon. A much tamer beast. Also, the murder weapon belonged to the victim, Mr. Latouche. Okay. Thank you for coming by at the very least. I appreciate it. Also, the murder weapon belonged to the victim, Mr. Latouche. Which suggests there was a struggle between killer and victim. So the killer might not have been holding the revolver correctly when he fired. Is that what you mean? A thought had occurred to me, yes. Or does the witness have anything to say to this? Detective Crescent. What I want to ask is what Mr. Sleaze rolled up, ready for action has to say. Hey you, attorney. Me? Exactly which piece of your evidence is decisive again? You got a little noise on that tape that could be anything. And you have an alleged guitar cue missed due to a .45 caliber kickback. I bleed for this case, Gavin. I really do. You can line up your little weak pieces of evidence all you want. I didn't shoot that manager. And that's the obvious truth. Witness has a point. Pence's argument's well persuasive, but not decisive. I believe we should hear what the witnesses has to say in order to respond to the case so far. Your testimony, please, Detective Crescent. Tell us your reasons why you couldn't have done it. Come on! Why would I even want to kill that manager? You want a reason? Easy. I got no motive, man.
This was that diva's first trip to this country, right? How could I possibly know her manager? If I didn't know him, why would I want to kill him? A simple reason indeed. Prosecutor Gavin, is it the case that Mr. Latouche had not been to our country before? According to our records, yes, not even one. I see. Very well. Mr. Justice, you may begin the cross-examination. Great, now I need to find a motive.
I'm gonna give you a reason. I'm gonna give you one.
Objection!
Your Honor, take a look at this. What's that? Looks like candy. It's not. Don't lick it, please. Detective Crescent, ever see this? Looks like a piece of candy. What it is evidence. Don't lick it before you try it. Specifically, this is a replica of a cocoon. It was found among the victim's belongings. A cocoon! Never seen one that color. It is a variety only found in the Republic of Virginia. Nowhere else. Alright, but what is this cocoon replica doing in my courtroom? Surely this has nothing to do with a motive for killing Mr. Latouche, does it? It does. Wait. I think it does. You don't sound so confident, man. A cocoon. It is one of those silky cocoons. The kind that you can make, well, silk out of. Not this one. This cocoon makes a powerful curative. A curative for what? Apparently it is most efficacious at treating a disease thought incurable. It is the only medicine of its kind. However, it is illegal to take one of these healing cocoons out of Virginia. Whatever for? It's such a miracle cure, why not share with the world? Yeah, that's what I've been wondering. We looked into the matter at some length. Apparently it isn't difficult at all to manufacture the remedy from the cocoon. Yet if you change the process only slightly, you can easily make a large quantity of something else entirely. A deadly poison, in fact. What? There was an incident several years ago where some of these got out onto the black market. It caused quite the commotion in the global community, though the media was kept largely unaware. Intriguing. All this has led to a strict ban on the cocoon's export. One rigidly enforced by Interpol, among others. Interpol. Right. The victim, Romain Latouche, was an Interpol agent. Detective Crescent, you insist on referring to him as a manager. That is misleading. Romain Latouche wasn't killed as a manager. He was killed as an undercover agent. So I was trying to smuggle this gumball into the country. That what you're trying to say? I'm saving that could be a motive for murder. Oh, so I was going to sell it on the black market and make myself a pretty penny? Ridiculous. Totally unthinkable. Unthinkable, you say? Why? Perhaps it's time for another testimony. About this smuggling of cocoons business. International Affairs got a memo about these cocoons. Interpol's all hot and bothered about them. Can't sell them on the black market, too dangerous. Yeah, cocoon smuggling ain't exactly lucrative anymore. Man, I'm in international affairs. I know the deal. Indeed. Interpol wanted these cocoons bad enough to send a Michelin Touche undercover. Kids think of the craziest things. But no way am I going to risk life and limb just to get my hands on some dirty cocoon money. Not the most noble of statements, but duly noted. According to reports, these cocoons top Interpol's list. Selling them to an underground organization will be risky. Very well. You may begin the cross-examination. It's the only motive I've got. He was up to something. I'm not gonna find out what. Nah. Are we sure about this?
Objection!
Why not choose a less dangerous buyer then? I would. How clueless are you? Everyone in the market's dangerous. The second they found out I was a cop, I could kiss my keister goodbye. Why sell to a black market buyer? How about someone like this? That article, that's about the Chief Justice's... A deadly poison can be extracted from the cocoon. But so can a cure. And not a cure for just any disease. A cure for incuratus. Incuratus? I have heard of that somewhere. You went to visit a victim of the disease this morning. Aha! Why, that's the disease of the Chief Justice's son has. You aren't saying... Our witness is a detective. He would have contact with the Chief Justice. You are saying... Chief Justice would never deal in a contraband. Not even to save his own son's life. But even if the deal went through... Why, it'd be an international scandal. That's Detective Crescent's insurance. If word ever got out, the one with his neck would be the Chief Justice. Detective Crescent, is this true? First, I'm a murderer, and now I'm a smuggler. How many crimes are you trying to pin on me anyway? It's tasteful to think about. If the Chief Justice were the buyer, why, a seller couldn't hope for a better deal. A very cowardly seller. Don't let sleeves over there trick you. So I made a deal with the Chief Justice. Where's your proof? Well... Oh yeah, and you're forgetting one other important thing. Do tell. Interpol isn't the only ones out there watching this. Virginian Customs barely sleeps. They're so worried about cocoons getting out. Oh, excuse me. So we were informed. Let's continue the cross-examination. This one. Actually, there is one way.
What? One way to get something out of the country. No. Checks. What is it? You become a prosecutor. A prosecutor? Ah! I don't believe it. Believe it, Prosecutor Gavin. What was it that you told me yesterday at your office? And that's how you smuggle it. Did I get that right, Prosecutor Gavin? Untouched? Quite. The car was wrapped in several sheets and vacuum packed in Virginia. The pack was untouched until the day of the concert. Seemed the guitar was... With cocoons this small, it would have been very easy to use a guitar as a mule to smuggle a cocoon out of Virginia. What? Which reminds me, Prosecutor Gavin. That guitar had some work done on it recently, right? Work? Good memory here for it. An igniter! Exactly. Consider this, if you will. What if that igniter wasn't the only thing that was attached inside your guitar? You mean... He means this, of course. Ah! There is a way to get a cocoon out of the country. They could use picky Prosecutor Gavin's privileged guitar as a mule. And who better to do that than someone with, like, a member of the band? Yarr! Ah! So the igniter was placed in there for a clear reason, it seems. It was a safety precaution. A precaution? Ah, Hair Forehead. At last, it all comes together. Every strange thing that happened that day. Care to review? Maestro, the gentle sounds of Lamore's ballad, if you will. First, my keys were stolen, a harmless misdemeanor, which forced me to break the lock on my guitar case. The key was stolen to retrieve the cocoon from the guitar. I see. Things didn't go so well. The smuggler was counting on the guitar being warped, wrapped. Unwrapping the guitar would raise too many suspicions. Then the concert began. Right about this time, a very large problem presented itself to the smuggler. What's that? Mr. Latouche. Ah, Mr. Latouche, an undercover agent, was onto something. He would have known about the guitar. He'd only have to check the shipping records. So, Mr. Latouche tried to examine the guitar himself. If the cocoon were confiscated, then the gig would be up. The only thing left for the smuggler to do was to get rid of the whole lot. Okay. Good night. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. Good night. And then... Mr. Latouche died. With Lamar there to witness it. There's your case. Brilliant, man. Detective Crescent. I gotta know. You make all that up on the fly? For a made-up story, it makes a great deal of sense, Jarren. The Republic of Virginia? Sorry, man, but I haven't even been there. True, you haven't. Huh, let's see you make up a story for that, kid. How'd I have the cocoon in the first place, huh? It's not so hard to imagine. You had help, a Virginian accomplice. That's all. That you had an accomplice was clear from the start. The voice Lamar heard proves it. You made this transmission from backstage, while your co-conspirator was on stage. But who was it? This is it. The coup de grace. And for once, I know what I'm doing. There's only one person who could have helped him. Who else? Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say, then. Be warned. With the great accusation comes great responsibility. Make up your answer on the fly, as it were, and you'll be harshly penalized. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? Who was the smuggler's accomplice? Who else?
Take that!
There is only one person who meets all the requirements of accomplice, and that person is the defendant, Machi Tobe. But, Mr. Justice, he's your client! The defense attorney accusing his own client? That's a new one. I assure you, no one is more unhappy about this than I. But I am here to defend him in the murder of Mr. Latouche. I stand by my statement earlier that he is innocent in that particular crime. Indeed, and it is Virginian. He does meet the basic requirements to be the accomplice. What if it was, in fact, Lamar? It couldn't have been. Well, you seem sure of yourself. The reason is electronic signals, Your Honor. Electronic signals? Recall that this remote only works to a range of 30 feet. Beyond that, it's useless. Yes, that's true. Now think back to the testimony. When the shooter made this transmission, Lamar was in the air vent. Right above the dressing room where the shooter stood. Let's look at the stage diagram. This is the area that the remote could reach from the air vent. Well, looking at this, it seems that Lamar still could have done the deed. No. When the shooter made that transmission, the stage was slightly different than shown here. It was in the middle of the guitar's Serenade. Part of the stage was raised. Prosecutor Gavin and the Lamar stand-in were in the air. They were on a tower which happens to be 15 feet tall. In other words, the remote couldn't have worked from Lamar's position in the air vent. Ah! Well, Detective Preston, what do you say to that? Your Honor. Yes, Detective? Can we see the video where Gavin's guitar burns? Just one more time. Well, I don't see why not. What? Tell me he has a way out of this. Too bad, so sad, punk. Punk? First you were sleeves and kid, now punk. Pleasing rank fast, Apollo.
What exactly were we supposed to see in this video? The problem isn't what we see, correct, Darian?
Right, it's what you hear. We are musicians, after all.
Care to explain for us non-musicians? Sure thing, Funk. Let me get your yarn straight first. You're saying I ordered the Wii pianist to set off that igniter? That right?
Yes?
Well, in order to do that, you'd have to press a switch. Am I right? Okay. We'll take another listen. Pay attention to the piano.
Piano?
You can literally see it igniting there. What seems to be the problem there? Piano sounded just fine. And that's the problem, man. You still don't get it? Yeah, how's he supposed to hit that switch if he's playing? You've got Miss Diva, the guitar, the bass, the piano, and the drums. The only one with her hands free was the Diva.
Or,
According to you, she couldn't have been the accomplice, could she? Your accomplice would have had a hard time helping out. If they couldn't even press a switch. Ah! Yeah, it literally ignited there.
you know, plays non-stop. Couldn't have pressed that switch.
Well, Mr. Justice, piano does seem to be playing when the guitar catches fire.
Well,
It's okay, we all make mistakes sometimes.
Apollo, were you wrong? Can't be wrong. Everything makes perfect sense. Look at it all just
Strange.
What's strange?
No, it's just something's odd about the performance there.
Odd.
Mr. Justice, if Machitobe didn't press that switch, he could not be the accomplice you claim he is.
Everything points to it. Every fact says he's the accomplice.
You got the facts wrong, man. Here's some facts for you. Gavin's guitar is on fire. Pianist didn't press that switch. In other words, your story is full of holes. Mr. Justice, let's hear your final opinion on this matter now. Was the defendant Machitobe the accomplice? Your answer will reflect on everything you've said here. Give it some thought.
Oh, if Machi's not the accomplice, our whole case is ruined.
I know that. It has to be him.
He's the only one who could have helped the smuggler. He had to press that switch. You better find a way to prove it. Ah. What do I do? It's to be something that doesn't fit. Something odd. Something odd. Wait a second. What? You thought of something? What was Gavin saying just now? Not much to go on. That's all I've got. What exactly did he hear that was odd? Have you come up with something more, Mr. Justice? May I remind you that everything rests on this. Can you prove Machitobe pressed that switch? Let's hear your final answer. Can you prove that Machitobe pressed the switch? Yes. I don't know if you can call this proof per se, but I can prove it was possible. Then as far as it falls to me to ask you to show us evidence supporting this. Hair forehead, you're sure about this? Huh, accept it. There's no evidence, man. Let's see your evidence, Mr. Justice. On what do you base your claim that the defendant pressed that switch?
Take that!
The basis for my claim is music, Your Honor. Music? What about music? Let's listen to the piano part around the time when the switch was to be pressed. Right before the guitar burst into flame. I hear a piano being played. But doesn't it sound kind of simple? Simple? Ah, I think I know what he's suggesting. You think Machi could have played that part with one hand? One hand? He only needed one hand to press that switch. He could play the piano with the other. Ah, so what, you're some kind of piano savant? Actually, no. And what do you know? You can't play a part like that with one hand. Maybe. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Wait, I know. Hey, Trucy! Yeah, you got something? Mr. Right, your father, he's a pianist. Could he... Oh, Daddy? He couldn't play a part like that even if he had 3 hands. So sorry, so sad for you. No, not really. Huh? That was just the easy way to prove it. There's always the hard way. Man, how are you gonna prove whether he played with one hand or 2? You can't. I admit, it will be rather difficult to prove. But it's highly likely he was playing with one hand. How do you know that? The clue is what Miss Prosecutor Gavin described as sounding odd. What sounded odd? I'll bet we can tell by listening to a certain part of the song. No way. Well, it seems we come to the moment of truth at last. Let's hear what Mr. Justice has to say for himself. Show us the part that proves the defendant was playing with one hand. Right before the guitar burst into flame. She was definitely playing one-handed just before the guitar caught fire. And one second of the song proves it. Yeah, the second section feels a lot simpler.
Take that!
Prosecutor Gavin, I'm sure you've realized by now just what it was that sounded odd to you. As I'm sure you've realized it yourself, Hair Forehead. Realized what? I'll demonstrate. Let's listen to the part in the question again, shall we? Pay particular attention to the "but a fleeting melody" phrase. Man, how many times do we have to listen to the same thing? You're right, enough of that. Let's listen to another section, shall we? Another section? The guitar bursts into flame at the end of the second verse. Let's listen to the same spot in the first verse. Pay attention to "Oh, that night in your embrace." Ah, play verse 2 again. There, did you hear that? They feel the same, true, but they're clearly very different. What? Well put, Your Honor. The phrase in verse 2 is quite simple, but the same phrase in verse 1 has high and low notes. You'd have to use two hands to play that for sure. What's that prove? I would think you know that by now. This is why I hate dealing with amateurs, man. Well, the two verses at different segments happens all the time. Not this time, Darian. There's no point in changing an arrangement if you can't hear it clearly. And that wasn't the point. I had him play specifically so that the piano would stay in the background. Oh. That was what I noticed. Why should the same phrase sound slightly different, I asked myself. Now ask yourselves why Machi changed how he played, and there's only one answer. He needed a free hand in order to press the switch. Nark!
I believe this ties all the facts together. Well, Prosecutor Gavin?
Yes, quite. Though, personally, this comes off as a terrible disappointment. What? No comeback? I can't believe it, I finally did it. I shut him up.
Very well, barring an objection from the prosecution, I will now state the court's opinion on this matter. Good show, Sleeves. No, great show.
It's not over? I don't like it when he looks so happy.
You tell him, Gavin. Tell him what's so disappointing.
Firstly, I'm terribly disappointed.
In you, Hair Forehead.
Huh? Me?
Yes, don't get me wrong, your case is solid. The facts all check out, but even now, you have yet to show us a single piece of decisive evidence.
Yeah, but the facts, anyone can see it was him.
Unfortunately, anyone does not include the law. I'm afraid your case doesn't cut it. But 1,000 facts might point toward the same conclusion. Without decisive evidence, it's not proof. That's the rule under our current legal system.
Believe it.
It does not seem as though the defense has any more evidence to present.
Oh, I think if he did, we already would have seen it a long ways back.
It is unfortunate, but at present, court is unable to acknowledge your accusation.
What?
Broken system. Broken system.
Truth is staring us all right in the face. Why can't they see it? What's the point of a legal system that protects criminals? Hollow, remember what Daddy said. I wonder what he meant by every man's igniter. I think he just meant a weak spot, no? Kind of thing that a single spark could turn into a wildfire of emotion. Won't be able to press him further by conventional means. Gotta find a weak spot in this guy. Something fatal.
So, can I get back to work now, or what? It may look like I got a lot of time on my hands, but I got no more time to play or pretend with this deadweight attorney. Well, Mr. Justice, come this far without decisive evidence. This witness won't be coming back to the stand once we let him go.
Every man has an igniter.
Huh?
Didn't you say the better the guitar, the brighter it burns, Prosecutor Gavin? Ah, yes, good guitars are kept dry is why. That provides the best sound. Even a small spark could cause irreparable damage. Your plan has an igniter in it too, Detective. It was there from the very beginning.
What?
Fighting time, Justice. If you blow this one, it'll be out of your hands for good. Go for it, Apollo.
What, and this igniter's supposed to come burn me up? That's almost poetic there, Mr. Attorney.
All the better. I'm rather fond of poetry. And I intend to hear this one through to the very end. Air Forehead, you are accusing this man, Jarren Crist, of 2 crimes. The murder of Mr. Latouche, and the smuggling of a Borginian cocoon. This is your last chance to prove your case.
This trial has already run on for far too long. Mr. Justice will be my last warning. The moment this igniter of yours turns out to be a dud is the moment this cross-examination ends. Understood?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then let's have it. Show us the basis for these accusations against Jarren Crescent.
Hey, this is really my last chance. The key that will take apart Jarren's Crescent plan is...
Call a witness.
Your igniter isn't a piece of evidence.
Huh? So what is?
It is true that I couldn't show decisive evidence. But perhaps what I need to prove my case was something else.
You mean a witness?
Proving his guilt is a tall order. But I've got just the person to do it.
Very well, Mr. Justice. Who is this person who can prove Jarren Crescent's guilt?
Mr. Machi Tobe.
Take that!
The person who can prove Jarren Crescent's guilt is the defendant, Machi Tobe. Your client again!
Machi Tobe was an accomplice to the cocoon smuggling plot. Without him, Jarren Crescent could not have gotten the cocoon. Furthermore, he can easily prove that the one who plotted to smuggle that cocoon is the real criminal in this case.
How so?
It would acquire just one of the very cocoons Mr. Latouche was looking for. With the cooperation from the Republic of Virginia, we could burn a cocoon. The burnt cocoon would leave a particular residue. A residue we would, no doubt, also find inside the burnt-out guitar.
Aha! Very scientific of you!
Thus, if Machi Tobe acknowledges his agreement with Jarren Crescent concerning the attempted smuggling of the Borginian cocoon, the case is solved. Darian's laughing again.
Your unrelenting passion is remarkable. You really want to get me, don't you? Too bad you'll never be able to.
Why not?
Little key tickler won't acknowledge anything. Especially not anything to do with cocoon smuggling. What's this all about? Taking a cocoon out of the country means death. By Borginian law.
Ah.
Yeah, see? If our pianist really was a smuggler, then testifying about it would be suicide. Believe me, he's not talking.
But you're wrong, Detective Crescent.
What?
It's the other way around. If Machi doesn't admit to smuggling here, he's in deep trouble.
How?
Look, if Machi admits to smuggling here, then he'll be tried in our courts by our laws. You don't get the death penalty for smuggling in our country.
Ah.
The victim in this case was an undercover Interpol agent. I'm sure that news has already reached Virginia, and they'll likely broadcast our dealings in court today, including the part about the Borginian cocoon.
Yeah, but...
But if Machi doesn't admit to smuggling now, he'll eventually be picked up by the Borginian police. It's It's not like he's in any danger in our court. We're not gonna find him guilty of murder here. Not now.
Yeah, but you can't do this. You can't accuse me.
Maybe the law doesn't allow it. But who's gonna think you're really innocent after hearing this trial? The same goes for Machi Tobe.
Ugh.
The cocoon smuggling, your entire plan. Machi Tobe knows everything. There's only one way out of it for him, and that's to acknowledge his own crime. The crime of cocoon smuggling.
Don't worry there. I'll get you out of the country. I'll set you up someplace, a hidden mansion, real nice. You want a house made out of cookies? Oh no. Or no, a house made out of pianos. Come on. Please! Don't Don't talk! Well said, Clavier. Darian, I consider that my last session with you. We rocked. Guess we can treat that outburst as a confession? Uh-oh, he's laughing again. There's a kind of sick desperation in it now, though. Well, have you been listening to today's trial? Yes. And you'll talk. You'll tell this court everything. I didn't want it to turn out this way. But I'm not the kind of lawyer that can overlook a crime. Today's trial was all for your benefit, you know. I see no reason why you should hesitate now. I knew. From the beginning, I knew. Machi. Situation I cannot explain, but money I needed. Very much money. Today's trial raises a delicate issue with our legal system. The only thing definite in the court of law is evidence. This is the golden rule. However, it has become apparent that not all things can be tried by this standard. Should another case of this sort surface, we may have to consider an alternate system by which to administer justice. Anyway, Mr. Machitobe? Yes? I promise you will receive a fair trial by the laws of our country. And with regard to the current charges for that murder of Mr. Latouche, this court is prepared to announce a verdict. I forgot he took off his glasses here. That's just a pretty cute boy. Wild. I thank you. I only lie, but you see truth. You find truth. That's our job. Very well. This court finds the defendant Machitobe. Good for you, boyo. Good for you. That was a weird cut. Court is adjourned.
I wonder what'll happen to Machi.
Only did smuggle a coon out of Virginia. Guess there'll be another trial here. All's well that ends well.
Daddy. I owe you both my thanks.
What?
Why, is something wrong?
I'm sorry,
Machi was your partner on stage, your friend. Yes, I thought of him as my own son. Even now I do, yet... something got a hold of him, something evil, I see that. And he must pay for what he has done. Is that not how it should be?
Still sorry.
Do not be sorry. You have given me courage.
Courage?
I am considering an eye operation.
It was my suggestion, actually.
You mean, you'll be able to see again? It's funny, I have always been afraid of the light. Light seems so harsh, so unforgiving.
According to the doctor, Amora lost her sight due to some kind of accident. An accident?
As you know, I suffer from amnesia. I feared that if I could see, perhaps it would open my eyes to the truth I have been running from. I was scared.
You know what changed her mind? Hearing your defense in there today. She could feel your gaze, unwavering, always looking straight at the truth.
If the light returns to my eyes, I think I would take up painting.
Painting?
That's right, she's the landscape painter in sound after all. I will paint the two of you, I promise. Ooh, I can't wait, Lamore.
You my thanks too, Apollo. Thanks. Mr. Wright, but for what? Reminded me I need to hurry things along. On my secret mission, that is. Right, your secret mission.
Apollo, Trucy. Hopefully we will meet again someday soon. You bet. Me too.
And so, like a ballad, the trial flowed on and on, until it came to the end. Thanks to the trial, the guitar Serenade was a huge hit. Prosecutor Gavin's even more dazzling to look at now. But there's something I want to say to that guy. Next time you write a ballad,
Have them catch the killer at the end.
Ubers. Turnabout Serenade. Yeah, as far as I remember, Case 4 is certainly the longest one of the game, but that's mostly because of all the things that it covers. Especially going back into the past. So, you know, that'll probably take a few streams at the very least. Probably like 3, maybe. Something like that. I think we'll at least start it, but I'm probably going to stop pretty soon. That is the whole truth of this case.
In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of this story. Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Fucking Kristoff. Hey, Apollo, look on the TV. Look, look. Yeah, I'm kind of busy. Whoa, look at that! He's the last Grammary, alright? Amazing! Apollo, you should be watching this! Ow, what? Writing about our last case in my journal. Players are supposed to write things in records, Apollo, not journals. Why now? That case was 3 months ago. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know? I want to vacuum pack the feel of the moment for later. Right now I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lemoire disappeared. It's the big one. It's got good characters. It's got all this shit. It's got everything. It's too bad that Dual Destinies basically decides to throw it all out the window. Like, everything that it sets, everything that this case will set up, gonna be thrown out the window. Immediately. It's like they didn't give a single shit about it. Ah! Pain. Absolute pain. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lemoire disappeared. That's right, Uncle Volant did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. Just getting to the good part. We should watch a little TV with her. Just a little TV, just a little bit. Just a little TV. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. What you're now seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth. Happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum? That's where the Gavineers concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here. Right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary troupe Grammary is performing for the first time in 7 years. Be nice to your sister, Apollo, please. And, I wonder who that is in the center. I wonder. I truly wonder. Could she perhaps look like a certain Lemoire? That's gonna be great. I'm so there. You and Daddy are coming too. Legendary Grammarys. Trucy's real father were still alive. He'd be on that stage performing miracles. I've got the tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo. Thanks. Ah, you're here. Working hard or hardly working? Hey, how you been? Hi there, stranger. Not exactly the kind of greeting I want to hear from my own kid. Okay, but I think he appreciates that about her. Okay? Though he has been gone a long time. How's it go? How goes it, Drucy? Here, I got a present for you. Yay, pudding! I love pudding. Oh, it's farm fresh. Not just one pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on a top secret mission. You gotta take it easy with the secrets, you know? How right you are. So you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it is time and has something to do with you anyway. Huh? With me? Oh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission too. Maybe you can be one of those guys. A spy. Can I just be a defense attorney? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? Tell me. You heard of the juror system, yes? The one game where the juror system will be here, but... Oh. Ah. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. We will get to the problems with Dual Destinies. We will get there. Juris system. That's right. New legal system everyone's talking about. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Maybe? Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. Juris system, huh? Show me that, Mr. Charlie. The plan intrigues you, doesn't it? Not really. It's just the only thing in here that doesn't have some secret function. No secrets, but lots of memories. And a name, too. Want to hear it? Not really. His name is Charlie, if you were curious. Really, I wasn't. Thanks, Phoenix. Thanks. So, Daddy, what's this jury system thing? Well, Drucy, do you know what a jury is? I've heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? Ones who get to decide if a guy's innocent or guilty. Do you know, Apollo? Only from TV. 12 people chosen from the community, right? Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling the new system the Juror system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. Jurors cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. Ah, there'll only be 6 of them under the current proposal, right? Wow, you know your stuff, Apollo. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully the people will start taking the courts a little more seriously now. I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show. Starring Dr. Wright. Wild. Dr. Wright, his assistant Drucy, and Mascot Apollo, the perfect team. Mascot Apollo. Was he gonna be a frickin' bird?
frickin'... Apollo's the frickin' bird mascot that shouts about his swords of steel. Mascot, hey! So what is this secret mission? The Jarren system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like this system are always risky, Apollo.
True. Everyone's got an opinion, they just talk and nothing gets decided. Kind of like you, Apollo.
I'm not that bad. Am I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will.
I don't like tests.
We'll take a case as a sample and choose 6 jurors. I'll be the one helping with that process, incidentally. Helping how? Well, for one, I'll be chair of the Juror System Simulated Court Committee. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurors' candidates. Even the judge in the courtroom.
Wow, it's like you have a real job.
I was never that good at piano, to be honest. What's a lawyer? Always a lawyer, I guess. The trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. The trial simulation, that is.
Simulation, huh? Sounds interesting.
So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, since it's the first run-through of a new system, I want something simple.
Good thinking. No sense wearing yourself out on something too serious.
True. Case is a murder. That's not simple at all.
Simple, did you mean that the defendant is...
Guilty. Yes, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? The trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course. Recall that I said it had something to do with you.
Go for it, Apollo. It's just a test case anyway, no sweat.
Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. In a pointlessly serious sentence, the most serious in a worst-case scenario. You mean the verdict's for real? It's not a test trial, that's a real trial. All the forms have been filed. There's no turning back now. Trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope you can make room in your schedule. Why am I only hearing about this now? Ah, yes, there was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Eh? Something that happened last night.
Hey, Apollo, I know you're all excited about that secret mission. What about this? The true Gramarye Grand Magic Show.
Huh? Alright, the card tricks.
They're not card tricks. They're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse, heaven and earth.
So what? That's 3 whole days from now.
It's at Sunshine Coliseum. Let's go. Let's go today. Then say hi to Uncle Volant.
Have fun.
What? I can't go by myself. You know I'm not very outgoing.
Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear all about it tomorrow regardless. I don't trust that smile. He knows something that he's not telling me.
Yippee! He can take me to the Coliseum.
I suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Gramarye. That reminds me.
What's this, Daddy? Isn't that Silk Hat the primary seal?
Consider it a birthday present, Trucy.
Thanks, it's great. But today isn't my birthday.
Good point. What day is it today, Apollo?
Today?
Think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day? Then it's Recycle Your Plastics present.
Yippee, so it's plastic.
I've given up trying to understand them. It's much easier that way. Apollo. They're just goofy. They're a goofy family, Apollo. Calm down.
So what is it? Can I open it, Daddy?
No.
Huh?
You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then.
Well, why don't you just hold on to it until then?
That would be the logical thing to do.
All about the Grammys, huh?
Alright, so what case are you gonna use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do. I mean, I'm gonna be defending, aren't I? If all goes well, then yes. Of course. This is just a test. We wanted everyone to start without preconceptions. A blank slate, as it were. There's a difference between having a blank slate and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Oh, mine. I'm in each chair, remember? Oh. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose. I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good, that's better. We can't talk to anyone involved with the case. What? Then how am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of this trial. All of it. You don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo. If I am in charge of this whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility, for good or for bad. Just do what you can. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. Alright. I'd recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there. Just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved. Oh, you can talk to your client. If you can get her to talk.
Time's a-wasting.
Indeed. Indeed.
It's time to meet her.
It's 20 minutes we've been waiting here.
Maybe I should complain? Sure, that guard has better things to do than stand there pretending he doesn't see us.
You know, the minute we get angry, the client will show. It always works that way. Like shouting,
"Oh, waiter!" and then they're standing right behind you. Oh, guard! Is our client gonna be much longer?
what are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting yet?
Huh?
Hello.
Hi.
Where do you come from?
Hi. Hello.
Well, anyway, please have a seat.
Hi. I'm nervous, Apollo.
It's a silence. It builds suspense.
Why don't you do something, Trucy? You're a magician, aren't you? That's right. Okay.
I'm the amazing Mr. Hat! Nothing.
You freaked her out. You freaked her out, Trucy. You freaked her out. She passed out.
Huh. This magic underwear might have been a better bet.
That's magic panties, Apollo.
Hi.
Oh, I'm your defense. I really think it has to be fate, you know?
And by fate, I mean destiny. Did you know I'm good with astrology?
Tell me, what's your sign? I can tell you mine if you like, Apollo.
No, never mind. I just got carried away there.
You seem destined to get the difficult clients, it seems.
So what's your name?
Oh, right, I'm supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo. Apollo Justice. I'm Trucy Wright.
I know. This is getting nowhere fast.
Hey, I know. Maybe you can tell us what happened. I'm your defense attorney, after all.
Yes.
Her stare. Her stare and her blinking.
Anything out of the ordinary happened lately?
Well, the other day this tourist from out of town stopped to ask me directions.
Later, Trucy. I feel like I need to ask directions myself here.
Well, that was fruitless.
Though I think I understand despair a little better now.
You did good, Apollo.
Hand.
Look, she's doing her nails.
What? Are nails more important than defense? Is that it? Let's go, Trucy.
Excuse me. Could you read this?
They're a mission. Sure. You're like a teenager on a first date. This is the love letter we pass from desk to desk at school.
Stop looking so wistful and read it, Apollo.
It's a business card with a name and an address. Name is Vera Misham? The address is for Drew Studio. One moment here. Moment. Okay. And you're giving him this card because... Bye. 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 Goodbye. Well, looks like we're finished here.
I wonder if Drew Studio's the scene of the crime.
Let's go find out. Studio. I forgot about the pufferfish. I forgot about the pufferfish. Wild. And you got an impressionist being there. Oh, this looks like a studio.
It's like life imitating art, or maybe it's the other way around. Tape on the ground there, it's a bit jarring.
Yeah, looks like we found our crime scene.
Oh, look at all those paintings.
Hey, don't touch those.
It's okay, I'm just looking.
Huh.
Oh, look at this one.
It's half finished. You can still see the rough sketch underneath.
That's odd. The rough part doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all.
Yeah, good point. That is odd.
All the paintings have a really different style, too. Oh, I thought I might find you two here. Emma, long time no see! Oh, seems like I run into you far too often.
It's literally been 3 months. I don't think that's often, darling.
I'll bet I know why you're here, too.
I mean, we're gonna stop basically here. Like, once I'm able to frickin', like, talk to her, that's the start of it.
I'll bet I know why you're here, too.
You know about the trial simulation tomorrow?
I've heard about it, sure. So Mr. Wright chose you, huh?
You don't even know what the case is about.
Well, he was killed. The artist who owns the studio, that is.
Ah, right. Dad.
Mr. Drew Misham. And his daughter was put under arrest.
Yeah, saw her at the detention center.
What's funny, though, you seem more like a victim than the kind of person who would commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning, that's how it was done, you know. Poisoning's a common way to get the job done, when the murderer is a woman. Poisoning? Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. Feel free to take a look around. I'll just be over here with my snackoos.
Can't talk to anyone related to the case this time around. Means we better find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else. Or else. Or else. Anyway, that's enough. That's enough for the moment. That's our hooker, basically. It's gonna be our jury case, as well as helping a girl out there. But I would say that Turnabout Succession, at least from what I remember, is probably like one of the best cases the series has seen. And it's kind of unfortunate that it never got like a proper, like, frankly, I would say it never really got a proper, like, follow-up, because the direction that Dual Destinies takes is, like, not where I would want, not where you would think it would go. But in this case, let's be clear here.
my exposure to how Phoenix Wright was specifically starting with Dual Destinies. I enjoyed my time there and, like, enjoyed what was there and, like, frankly, in a way, thought that was my favorite frickin' game in the series. After playing everything else, though, I had second thoughts. Frankly, I still think the third game is the best one. Well, no, it's not the best one. The best one is Investigations 2. To me. That's the best one. Even if I do think that Game 3 and Apollo are still pretty up there in regards to, like, what the series is capable of. Regardless, I think that'll do it for me today. I mainly just wanted to get the third one done today, just so I could get as much time as I can on the final one. Basically, whenever we get back to it, probably next week, more than likely. But I'm happy to at least be in that next one. It's nice. It's nice that I'll be able to frickin' get towards the end of it. Just gonna check something. Yeah, we're at 4 out of 8 now. Good. Good. Yeah, we're not getting we're not getting another freaking we're not getting another ladder joke until Dual Destinies. So we're fine. However, we're gonna have to talk to Mr. Charlie again in the past. Because, yeah. And we're gonna have to do that. We're gonna have to do that. If I recall, that's an alternate ending. If I recall. But yeah. We'll get around to that when we get around to that. So, thank y'all for watching. I will see y'all later. And have a good rest of your day. I'll see y'all next time. Oh boy.